One of the biggest reasons the wedding photographers struggle on the day isn't down to the equipment itself. It's not down to the settings either. It's actually down to the timeline. Because if you don't understand how a wedding day actually flows, you're constantly going to feel behind. And that causes a lot of stress. And the more stress you have, the more busy you are, the more likely you are to miss the moments that matter. End of the day, you have to be able to capture the moments that are happening in front of you. And I'll be totally honest, sometimes the moments that you want to happen don't actually happen, and you have to kind of push it just a little bit and make it happen. And if you don't have time to do that, you're gonna struggle. So in this video, I wanna break down exactly how a wedding timeline works. I wanna get you thinking in a very different way. What you need to expect and how to stay in control of the wedding day instead of just reacting to it. When I first started to photograph weddings, I didn't really think about timelines properly. I'd turn up and just photograph the day as it happened. I just sprayed and prayed and hope for the best. But what really happens is things start slipping, things start struggling. You run out of time, you feel rushed, and all of a sudden you're struggling to keep up rather than staying ahead. Not only that, you get back, you start editing the photos, you look at the finished gallery and you think, yeah, that's pretty good. Then you compare it to another photographer's work and you think, was that photo meant to happen? Did that moment happen in my wedding as well? Is that how that part of the day is actually meant to go? And that's what happened to me at the very beginning of my career, until I took control. And once I did that and understood how a wedding timeline works, things became a lot easier. A wedding timeline is basically a structure of the entire day. It dictates where you need to be, what's happening right now, what's going to be happening next, and how much time you have for each part of the wedding day. And every wedding, no matter how different it feels, follows a very similar flow. And once you get into that flow, you'll naturally just go with it, and you will do it second nature without having to focus on anything, and you can go and focus on something completely different. Your brain just goes into autopilot. So here is a rough breakdown of a wedding day within the UK. You've got the morning prep. This is where things are fairly relaxed until that last hour, and you're there capturing details, getting photos of people getting ready. Then you move on to the ceremony. This is a little bit more time sensitive. It's very structured, and this is where you need to be in the right place at the right time to get the right photos. After that, you've got the confetti or some kind of exit from the ceremony. This part is fairly quick but chaotic. Then you've got the group photos. This is where you need to be on it and organized. Take control and keep things efficient. Then you've got the couple portraits. This is where you're going to go away and create some of your best work. Then you've got the reception, the speeches, finally the cake cutting, first dance, partying. Once you understand that kind of flow, the day starts becoming a little bit more predictable rather than just fully random and chaotic. But all of this is incredibly entry-level stuff. I'm going to give you an insight into what goes off up here prior to a wedding, so I know exactly what's going to happen on the actual wedding day. And this is the way you need to think for every single wedding. Oh, and by the way, if you're new to wedding photography and you want a full breakdown of how to photograph a wedding, what to photograph on a wedding day, how the business and the marketing works, the editing, how to approach a wedding day with confidence, and even how to book your first few weddings, I've put all of that into my Introduction to Wedding Photography course. And if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link down below. I'd like to say it's just beginners, but genuinely, the biggest mistake wedding photographers as a whole make is underestimating how long things actually take. Group photos, for instance, they always take longer than you expect. Getting people organized takes time. Moving between locations takes even more time. And if the timeline you've set isn't realistic, then it ain't gonna work. So the question is, how do you stay in control of a timeline? First, you need to understand what's happening on the day before the actual day happens. Please just don't turn up and just go for it. Organize a call with a couple prior to the wedding. Look at the schedule, talk your way through it. And this is like a two-way thing. They're telling you what's going to be happening on the wedding day, but you can communicate to them and tell them what you need from them and from your suppliers and everybody. And as you gain more experience, you're going to learn things a little bit more and how you like things to be done. And you can start pushing that into the advice that you give them to help their day be a little bit easier. You may be watching this and thinking, God, that sounds really over-controlling. It's not your wedding day, Danny. But the thing is, couples actually love it when you express an interest in their wedding. It shows them how important their wedding day is to you. And not only that, how much of an expert you are in what you do, and it reassures them that they made the right choice in booking you. Then once you've got that structure of the day, build in some flexibility. And you should explain this to the couple. If you think something's going to take 20 minutes, tell them it's going to take 30. Because the thing is, would you sooner tell them it's going to take 30 minutes and it actually only take 20, or tell them, oh, don't worry, that only take 20 minutes and it takes half an hour? I would always sooner under-promise, over-deliver in everything that I do. Then what you need to do is take control where you can, including on the day. Don't be afraid to speak up and speak to the other suppliers. You might have to speak to the groomsmen. You might need to speak to the bridesmaids. You might need to speak to the couple, the venue. If you need something doing and you can't do it yourself, ask politely. If all the bridesmaids are sat there and it's pretty much time for them to start getting into their dresses, then politely say, do you think we should start getting into our dresses now? I'll be honest, after 7 years or so doing this, they've never questioned what I've said. Group photos are also a big one here. If you're organized on the day and you go in with confidence, then you will save yourself a whole lot of time. And finally, always be thinking ahead. Don't just focus on what's happening right now, focus on what's going to happen in just a moment. Here's a really good example of everything I've just gone through. Let's say you've got a ceremony which is starting at 2 o'clock. Let's say it's a bride and groom that's getting married. The bride is always going to be the last person to the ceremony. Let's say that she's getting ready at the venue which she's getting married at. So here's the question for you. What time do you think she should start getting into her wedding dress? I'll give you a moment, have a think, write it down in the comments. No cheating. What do you think? Happy? Ready to move on? Okay, I'd say 1 p.m. at the latest. But why? What I like to do is work backwards from the ceremony start time. Registrars who will conduct the ceremony always like to see both the bride and groom separately prior to the wedding ceremony beginning. The bride is always the last one of the two who will be seen, and they always like to come around 15 minutes before the ceremony begins. If not, maybe a touch earlier, and you can't leave these guys hanging around. So that means the bride needs to be dressed, ready to go to the ceremony for 1:45 at the very latest. The next question is, does the bride want to do a first look with her dad and the bridesmaids? Realistically, those photos are going to take 5 minutes each. You want them to enjoy the moment, you don't want it to feel rushed, so we'll say 10 minutes, we'll say 15 just to be safe. So 1:45, let's move that back by 15 minutes, so we're at 1:30. Then the bride needs to get in the dress. She needs to get covered and fully dressed. You also need to make sure that whoever's helping the bride into the dress, we'll say her mum, is there enjoying the moment. This is a really big part of the bride's day, so let's not rush her. She'll also want to do finishing touches with the hair and makeup people. The hair and makeup people will probably want to take their own photos and TikToks and other social media stuff. This is regardless of whether you provide your own photos after the wedding or not. They'll still want to do their own. You've got the veil going in, the jewelry going on, the shoes going on. Then you'll want to also take some banging photos of the bride before she goes to see the registrars. And that right there is easily another 30 minutes. So before we even get to the wedding day, we sit down on a call and we have this discussion. And I talk her through this exact process. I tell her that I need you to be ready to get into your dress for 1 o'clock at the very latest. Does this align with your hair and makeup people? Yeah, perfect. Let's do that. In fact, let's tell them that it's going to be 12:50 at the very latest, so we've still got that 10-minute buffer. That means that if they need to overrun slightly, then it doesn't affect our actual timeline. I even go as far as asking, who is helping you into your dress? If they say the mum, I say, well, can you make sure your mum is dressed, completely dressed, ready to go, for the time that you need to start getting into your dress. So we'll say 1 o'clock again. And what if after all of this, you have a spare 5 minutes? No bride is ever going to complain. They'd sooner have 5 minutes so they can have a drink and relax and take it in, build that core memory, than it be rush throughout the entire morning, feel really stressed, maybe get a little bit sweaty, things start going wrong and it ruined their morning, ultimately ruining their experience of the wedding day. You're starting on the back foot then. This conversation and the thought planning process sets my day up for success, and it also sets up my bride to love her morning. If you found this video useful and you want to know exactly what you should be photographing throughout an entire wedding day, then watch this video right here when I break it down step by step. And if you've got any burning questions about wedding timelines, ask me in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.